Hi there. Welcome back to my reading of Dirty Numbers. We are in Chapter 2. The day is November 15th, 1990. We are on Episode 4. This is going to be a long episode, and the beginning's going to be kind of tough to read, but I'm going to get through it. So warning, this is going to make us all feel uncomfortable, okay? Just letting you know. You can stop watching now, go on to the next one, go on to Forensic Files, whatever, or get ready. Hi, a dry voice rasped at me. Are you the girl in the ad? No, I'm not, I replied. I'm the operator. Would you like to place an order to speak to a lady? Is the girl in the ad working? He asked. What ad are you looking at, sir? I asked back. Since the company I worked for went under a variety of names, they had to use a variety of different models. The one in Hustler, he replied. That didn't help. We had 6 ads in Hustler alone. Okay, what's the lady wearing? I asked. Nothing, he exclaimed. That eliminated half the ads. Is she a brunette? I asked, hopefully. No, a beautiful blonde, he wheezed. I had one more way of narrowing it down to one girl. Is she wearing a gold chain around her hips? Nah, this one's squatting down and her legs are wide open. She's holding her tits out like she's offering them to you or something. That girl, is she working? It was quite obvious why I didn't describe this particular girl. Although she was cute, I found she had no class. A lot of callers sure wanted to talk to her, though. The actual truth was that none of these girls were working for the phone sex company. They were just models or strippers hired to pose as phone mates in the porno magazine ads. Again, it was back to the basic rule of the business. What do these men know? Yep, she's working, I told my customer. Would you like to speak to her? Oh, yeah, he said gaily. She's hot. His information went through smoothly. He was so excited that he was going to speak to a woman that I thought he was going to have a heart attack. All right, sir, let's go through that credit card again, I said, knowing I didn't get it right the first time when he raced through it. 41239477778. Sir, I shouted, a little slower, please. Right, he gasped. Sorry, I'm just excited is all. I'm almost there, you know. Hold, please. I put him on hold so he could cool off for a moment. A month ago, I would have hung up on him, but since I'd learned that many legitimate customers masturbate while I take their order, and I guess they diddle with themselves until the phone mates call to take them to the grand finale. I gave the caller a few more seconds, then took him off hold. Once again, slowly, with that credit card number. With only a couple more admonitions to relax, I got Bill's order. And it's gonna be the girl in the ad, he asked for the 5th time. Yes, it will be, I assured him. She'll be calling you within 10 minutes. Can you tell her I want her to be doing the same thing she's doing in the picture? He said solemnly. Yes, I'll tell her, I said. Goodbye. I hung up on him quite delicately and processed his order. He turned out to be for real, and I decided to give this call to Linda Shauna. Hi, Linda. Got a call for you. Okay, hang on while I turn the Little Mermaid off, she murmured. Really, the phone mates are supposed to be ready with pen and paper in hand when they answer the phone. Linda had been with the company almost since its inception, so I guess she earned a few privileges. She got back on the phone. Okay, who is it? You've never spoken to him before. His name is Bill, I said, giving her the phone number. Bill the Pill, what's his thrill? She rhymed. I laughed at her way of asking what his preference was. That was cute, I told her. Yeah, the little mermaid put me in a good mood, she replied. Good thing you didn't call an hour ago. I just finished watching The Elephant Man. Pretty heavy movie. Bummed me out a bit. Well, anyways, Bill wants the girl in the ad, I said, getting back to work. Which ad is that? Linda asked. The blonde with the carnation in her hair? No, the other blonde, I said. You know which one I mean. Yeah, I've seen her before, she said. I'm supposed to tell you he wants you to be doing exactly what you're doing in the ad, I informed her. What's she doing? Linda asked. Don't you know? Don't you have the ad there? I had all 6 of the beauties taped to the inside of the ominous report book. I know she's blonde. I know she's sitting down with her legs open. She's got nice tits, of course. She's white. She's about 21. That's about all I need to know to get by, Linda explained patiently. This time the guy wants you to describe what you're doing, I said evenly, knowing what was about to happen. So what is she doing? Linda asked. Okay, I began, not relishing this. She's not sitting, for one thing. She's like squatting. That suddenly felt like the most dirty word I'd ever said. She's totally nude and her legs are spread wide open. Ugh, I'll never use the word spread again anymore. I studied the ad a bit more, then tried for some humor. She's got 2 breasts, and she's like holding on to them real tight with the nipples. The dirtiest word yet. Like poking out at the end. I finished my filthy diatribe. What about her face, her body? Linda asked further. Her face? I asked weakly. Well, her hair's blonde, right? And her eyes are closed. Her head is cocked to one side. Her mouth is wide open. Oh, right. It's like she's just waiting for some dick to come along and fill it up, Linda said sarcastically. Look at most of those ads. The girl's mouth is always hanging open. And I suppose she has only the best body in the world too, right? Yeah, it's pretty nice, I granted. Give the model that much. She takes care of herself. So, you look like the girl? I asked. In no way, shape, or form, Linda said miserably. I'm about 30, 40 pounds overweight. My boyfriend's been on my back lately about it. I didn't want to suggest she might be spending too much time with the VCR and the couch. Okay, so I'll talk to you when you're done with Bill, I said. Bill, the sexist pill, Linda said, no longer sounding in such a good mood. The phone rang and I said bye to Linda before picking up the call. Hi, can I help you? Hi, it's Susan. Pretty slow, huh? Yeah. As a matter of fact, business was a tad brisker than usual tonight. The answer for Susan, though, was that it was always deadly slow. That was the only way to account for her usually doing only a couple calls a night. Okay, I just wanted to say that I might need to pop out to the store, she informed me. Would it be okay? It'll only be 15 minutes tops, and I'll phone you as soon as I get back. No problem, Susan, I said. Go ahead. You don't have to phone me when you get back either. I was sure I wouldn't need her. I had enough girls on, including some talented floaters, and Sarah never got requested, so who'd miss her? Oh, okay, she said, a bit mystified. It's just that I'm expecting someone to call tonight. Yeah, right, Susan. I won't be long. Bye. The phone immediately, as is common in this business, rang again. A younger-sounding voice asked for information about the service. I began by saying, the charge is $55, payable by major credit card, up to half an hour of unrestricted conversation. Unrestricted? The caller interrupted. You mean we can, swear and everything? Yes, unrestricted conversation. Wow! I completed my exhortation about the business, and the guy decided to place an order. I was a bit concerned about his age and awaited an opportunity to trip him up. Your address, sir? I live at 3789 Interstate Highway, he replied. Is that a house or an apartment? I continued. I had to have the suite number if it was an apartment. It's a trailer, the customer corrected me. I took down what looked like credible information and then asked, do you have a preference as to what sort of lady calls you back? What choice do I have? He asked right back. We have ladies between 18 and their mid-40s, I replied, betting he'd go for an 18-year-old, probably because I was closest to his age. If he was 18, he was legally old enough to place a call, but really, how many 18-year-olds have credit cards? Okay, I'll take a 30-year-old, the caller, Jason, said. Now I struck with the direct, don't give them a chance to think questions, which had helped me to figure out his age. And how old are you, sir? I'm 22, he replied. Your birth date? I asked fast. August 18th, 1970, he replied just as quick. I quickly calculated and saw that his birth date made him 22. I asked one more question. And the phone is in your name, not your father's? No, it's in my name, he said, getting a touch edgy. I live in a dumpy trailer on the side of a highway, but it's better than living with him. It's my phone, my credit card. Everything's cool, ma'am. I decided to believe him, but put a watch on his file. For some reason, the two biggest fears I had was that I would pass a call to a minor, thus corrupting him for life, and that someone I knew would call. You'll have a call shortly, I said, and hung up. Shauna would have been perfect for this call, but I'd just given her away to someone else. I decided to go with Carla Lilly. Since she'd started 6 weeks ago, the same day as she'd improved remarkably at the job. Her request rate was startling, and this wouldn't be the first time I had her place someone almost twice her age. Hi, Carla, I said. Ready for a call? Good timing, she said. I just put the baby to sleep in her room. Carla's baby, Brittany, now had her own room. 6 weeks ago, their entire living space consisted of a room. Carla's life was constantly changing from day to day. One day, she was doing calls from her bachelor flat, and the next week, she was at her sister's. The week after that, she moved in with her mother, and she'd been there for a month already. Is your mom around? I asked. Yeah, but that's no problem, Carla said confidently. She knows all about this job. She doesn't mind? Oh, no, Carla laughed. Remember how confused I was when I first started? Well, I would have quit by now if it wasn't for my mom. I cut to the punch. I guess she helps out a lot with the baby, huh? No, I look after Brittany, Carla said loyally. I mean, Mom will take care of her if I'm on a call, but I'm with her the rest of the time. So how does your mom help? I was curious. Oh, man, she'd love to be a phone mate, Carla trilled. She makes up the wildest fantasies about anything you can name. You should tell her to apply for a job here, I suggested. We need older-sounding voices. She's too old. She's almost 60, Carla said. Plus, she doesn't always feel well. She's got MS. Oh, that's too bad, I said consolingly. Oh, she's a hoot to live with. I really didn't realize that until I got pregnant. I was young and foolish then, the 18-year-old said. But you should see. She'll stay up sometimes until 4 or 5 a.m., listening in on the calls on the extension. If a guy calls me back, she coaches me between the calls. I'm embarrassed to say some of the things she tells me, but when I do, they just love it. Man, she's a pro. No wonder Lily's request was so high. Well, you have to be 30 for this guy, Jason, I informed her, giving her the phone number. I'm a little worried about him, though. Talk to him a bit. See if he sounds old enough. If he doesn't, then disconnect the call, okay? Sure thing, Carla said, hanging up. In the 6 weeks I'd known her voice, things had really picked up for her, it seemed. Day one, she sounded full of fear and despair. Now she was happy at home. Yes, mothers are a wonderful thing. The phone rang and I picked it up. A cheery voice greeted me. It's payday! Yes, would you like to place an order? I asked. Don't you know who this is? A voice asked. No, I'm sorry I don't, I said. It's not like it was my dad or my boyfriend calling. I take it you've used our service before. Yes, I do. The first of every month, he explained. Payday! And I know my sweetheart is waiting for me. Your name, sir? Luke Flysprung. I saw his file and started to pull it out. And your sweetheart? As soon as I asked, I glanced at his card and saw a row of Sarahs staring back at me. All requests. I was flabbergasted. Sweet Sarah, Luke said. Fine, I said. You'll have a call as soon as possible. I hung up and proceeded with this call, hoping Susan would call me as soon as she walked in her door. It had almost been 15 minutes since she called me. Once again, I marveled over the fact that Susan Sarah had an admirer. Men have been known to call back and demand an immediate refund. Can she talk? They ask. All she does is moan. What was her trick with Luke? Another call came through, and I spoke to a regular customer, a man with an almost dead-sounding voice. Do you have a preference, sir? I asked. Nah, just someone who's friendly and into anal sex. You'll have a call shortly, I said and hung up. The phone immediately rang, and I hoped it was Susan. Time was marching on. Hi, can I help you? Hi, it's Linda. I'm done with that creep. Pretty bad, huh? I asked. She mimicked his voice. Oh, yeah, baby. Give those titties to me. Daddy wants to suck them big nipples. He was sick. You might want to mark on the file that he likes his women submissive. Okay, I'll note that, I said. I got another call you can do. His name's Colin, and he wants someone friendly and into anal sex. Are his dates usually unfriendly when he tries to butt random? She asked sarcastically. She never minced words. I gave her the phone number. I'll call you when I'm done with that bum, she said, hanging up. For a while, the phones were silent. I decided that Susan had taken my word when I told her not to bother checking in. I figured I'd better just call her before Luke began to think of canceling. I reached her answering machine. Hi, this is Susan. I want to talk to you too, but I'm out right now. Leave a message and I'll phone you as soon as I return. I waited for the beep and then shouted, Susan, it's work. Phone me as soon as you return. The phone rang and I answered it quickly. Hello, can I help you? It's Carla. I'm done already. Who are you talking to again? I asked. Sarah getting requests had really unsettled me a bit. That guy, Jason, she reported. I was 30 for him. Oh, yeah, I remembered. How old did he sound? About my age, she surmised. Your age 18 or your fantasy age 30, I asked, not feeling the least inane. 18, she said. Then I heard her ask someone else, how old do you think Jason was? The background reply was mumbled and Carla came back on. Mom figures he was 22. I hope he was old enough, I muttered. He sounded old enough, Carla said. Shit, when I was 17, they wanted me to make me assistant manager at the McDonald's I worked at. That is, until I got pregnant. That's discrimination, I said, as if I weren't guilty of that crime. Sometimes the management ran ads stating we were hiring receptionists or phone mates. If a woman with an accent called, excluding the lovely British-sounding voices, we were to say the position had already been filled. If a man called, we were to say we were no longer hiring. Oh no, I quit on my own, Carla corrected me. I moved out, got my own place. I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant until you couldn't help but notice. After I had the baby, I tried working at 7-Eleven, leaving the kid with Mom, but that didn't work out. It seemed I was always rushing around when all I wanted to do was just spend time with Brittany. Moving back home, getting a job like this, changed my life around. Carla seemed to be pretty well adjusted for an 18-year-old single mother who talked about sex for a living. Okay, hang tight. I may have another call coming your way, I said. I was thinking of passing her Sarah's request. I tried Sarah again and reached her machine. Sarah, it's been at least 20 minutes. Then I had no choice but to phone Luke up before he decided to call me in anger. Hello, Luke. This isn't Sarah, Luke said in an unfriendly tone. No, this is Bella from the service calling, I told him. I'm just waiting for Sarah to call me. She's not talking to another man, is she? Luke asked, almost faint-heartedly. Oh, no, I said. Another rule? We were never to say that the girl was talking to someone else if we could help it. Often, the customer felt his girl was cheating on him. Sarah just stepped out for something at the store. I thought she'd be back by now, but she isn't. Would you like to speak to someone else? No, thanks, he said. I'll wait for Sarah. We have other ladies, lovely ladies available. No, thanks. I'll wait for Sarah, he reaffirmed. I couldn't understand his behavior. Okay, I'll have her call you as soon as she gets in, I said, giving up. 2 phones rang at once. Hi, can you hold? I asked the first line. Sure, a voice said. I picked up the second line. Hold the line, I said, cringing. I hated using that exact phrase and was gratified to hear a female voice say she'd wait. I picked up the first line and said, Thanks. The customer had hung up already. I went back to the female. Thanks for holding. Hi, it's Linda. I'm done, she reported in. He'll be calling me back, I'm sure. Good, I'll call you soon, I said, spying another line lighting up. Hi, can I help you? Do you have girls with toys? Toys? Yeah. Sure, I said. This was a new one. Have you used their service before? I don't know, I may have, he said. Why don't you give me your name and I can check, I asked. It was better than wasting 5 minutes taking down information when I already had it on file. Paul Santini, he said. I searched the files and found he'd used it only once before, a year ago. Yes, you've used our services before, I confirmed. Your phone number? His information was still up to date, and I told him he'd have his call shortly. I noticed he spoke to Shauna that one time, and in brackets after her name was written, Toys. Obviously, she was going to get this call. After getting Paul's authorization from American Express, I called up Linda. I got another call for you. Hang on, she said. I'm just making myself a plate of fries. Let me turn the stove off. I waited a moment until she got back on. Now they'll be all soggy. Oh well, who is it this time? His name's Paul, I said, giving her the phone number. You spoke to him ages ago. I doubt you'll remember him. He wants someone into toys. No problem, she said, and then I heard a sound like a drill. What the hell was that? I asked. The blender, she said, or should I say, my vibrator. She laughed. A vibrator's a toy? I asked, perhaps stupidly. So's this, Linda said, and I heard another noise. That was my dust buster. She pressed another button. Here's my cappuccino foamer, she yelled over the racket. Can't they tell the difference? I asked. Nah, she replied. Sometimes I do this. Listen. She turned the blender back on, started moaning, and then pressed another switch. The noise got louder, faster, more frantic, and Linda started to scream almost. Linda, what are you doing? You okay? I shouted. She was scaring me. All the noise suddenly shut off, and Linda spoke calmly. Oh, yeah, I use that on the hardcore S&M guys. They think I'm electrocuting myself with the vibrator. You got a million tricks up your sleeve, don't you? I had to compliment her. I could look around my house and find dozens of toys, she said, giggling. One day I'll get around to buying myself a real vibrator. I hung up with her and tried Susan again. Reaching her answering machine a third time, I pulled the report book closer to me. I knew Luke was going to cancel, and I wasn't going to take the blame. I would lay it at Susan/Sarah's feet. I phoned Luke again. Luke, she's still not back. I don't know when she's going to return, I admitted. Instead of waiting a little longer, why don't you talk to someone else? I've never spoken to anyone else, Luke said. When he called as a first-time customer, the first girl he got was Sarah. Maybe he was afraid to try someone else. Maybe you'd like to try, I encouraged him. We do have many popular ladies on tonight. I don't know, Luke hesitated. I really like the way Sarah moans. That's all it was? Sir, we have ladies who I'm sure can moan just as well as Sarah. I don't know about that, Luke defended her. I like to tell her a dirty story while I jerk off, and she moans in all the right places. No, I think I'll wait some more for Sarah. But, sir, I spoke forcefully to make him understand, I don't know when she'll be able to call you. The phone rang. Just hold for one moment, Luke. I picked up the line. Hi, can you hold a moment? It's Susan, Sarah. I'm back now. She spoke quickly instead of having to wait who knows how long on hold. Susan, I need you. Where were you? I thought you'd be back ages ago. The store I usually go to was closed for some reason. I had to walk quite a ways to the next one, she explained. And besides, you said it was quite slow. Well, I have a call for you from Luke. Oh, Luke, she said, as if it was a dear old friend. Yes, it's a request, I continued. Of course, like it was an everyday occurrence. His number is 41, I began before she cut in again. Oh, that's all right. I have his number, Susan said. Luke and I go back a long way. Gee, a whole 8 months, I thought. Only a couple pages back in your phone mate diary, I bet, Susan. All phone mates are instructed to keep a detailed log of all the calls with the men. In that way, they would remember if they were blonde or green-eyed with the regulars, among other things. I got a little tough with Susan. Well, phone him right now. He's been waiting for at least an hour. Oh, he'd wait all night, Susan bragged. She was really playing this request to the hilt. I hung up on her and went back to Luke on hold. Hi, Luke. Thanks for holding, I said. I just spoke to Sarah. I had to watch that bad habit. She's calling you right now. Excellent, he cheered, hanging up. I shook my head in amazement. I guess it just proved the theory that there is someone in this world for everyone. Wow, this was a long one, almost half an hour, you guys. Thank you. The next episode is going to be short, but thanks for staying with me, and talk to you in just a little bit. All right? Hope you guys like it. Subscribe, all that nonsense. Okay, later.